Well, each year the governor's State of the State address is a chance for Oklahoma's top executive to set out priorities and lay out an agenda that they hope the newly convened legislature will follow. And this year was no different.
That is, the state of the state is strong, and it's getting stronger every day.
And on that note, Governor Mary Fallin began an address focused on Oklahoma's economy.
Since January of 2011, we've created over 62,400 new net jobs, giving us the 4th highest growth rate in the nation.
More jobs in more places. The governor credits Republican-led efforts to make a state already topping pro-business rankings even more business-friendly.
To support our engine for growth, the private sector, I've asked the Oklahoma Department of Commerce to develop a state plan to take our economy to the next level. And I want to focus our state on industries that have the greatest potential for wealth generation and job creation.
But to grow industry sectors, Governor Fallin recognizes the need of a well-prepared, competitive workforce.
What can we do that will best attract the jobs for Oklahoma in our future? Well, the answer in our study is pretty simple. It's by strengthening our workforce.
Initiatives she hopes to make with less revenue. For the second straight year, Governor Fallin proposed a cut in state income taxes, albeit a much smaller cut than the one that failed last year.
So I'm asking you to work with me again to lower the tax burden on our fellow Oklahomans. Lower taxes means economic growth and more job creation. This proposal gives us the flexibility we need to ensure that we are reducing taxes responsibly without starving government. Studies show that 80% of the jobs in the future will require a high school degree or more. Further, there is a direct correlation between a state's per capita income and the education level of its citizens. Our reforms and our degree and certificate completion initiatives will ensure that we have the skill sets needed to be able to retain and create good jobs in our state. All of these education and workforce initiatives are major, groundbreaking steps to help move Oklahoma forward.
Producing a highly skilled, highly educated workforce that can attract and retain high-paying jobs into the state.
Working together for the betterment of our citizens, I know we can create a more prosperous and successful Oklahoma. And the state of the state will be even stronger next time we meet. God bless you, and thank you for all that you do for the state of Oklahoma.
And as part of the governor's address, a new initiative called Workforce Ecosystems was unveiled. Earlier, I sat down with the Department of Commerce's Deidre Myers to find out exactly what a workforce ecosystem is. So Deidre, what are these ecosystems that we're hearing so much about?
Well, they're economic systems. I think previously most people have heard about clusters. The idea of clusters started with Michael Porter at Harvard in the 1980s, and basically it's the number of businesses that are oriented around a particular good or a service. So for instance, a cluster forms around natural gas. You have companies that extract natural gas. You have companies that then manufacture the pump used to extract natural gas. You have the companies that transport natural gas. You have the retailers who sell natural gas. And so that's a cluster of companies that are oriented. However, we need to think bigger because the economy in the 21st century has become more complex, more nuanced, and labor needs more skill, knowledge, and ability. So what we wanted to do is take a systematic approach at thinking about our economy, and so we found our economic systems, or ecosystems, for the state of Oklahoma.
So if you will, look at the state for me and tell me what are the major ecosystems that have emerged.
Sure. Well, we did a very comprehensive quantitative analysis of 72 variables, so it turned out to be over 48,000 data points. Then we looked at the industries and found out which industries rank the highest in terms of wealth generation, competitive advantage over other states or other economies, and also growth potential. And so we wanted to find those industries that hit the bullseye in those 3 targets. And what we did is we found out that there are 5 major ecosystems in the state of Oklahoma. Now, these are economic drivers. There are many, many industries and many economic systems in the state, but there are 5 that are very influential in how our economy builds wealth in the state. The first is aerospace and defense. The second is energy. The third is agriculture, bioscience. The fourth is information and financial services. And the fifth is transportation and distribution.
Now, we hear so much about the biosciences. I don't see that here. Are there smaller ecosystems that it would fit into?
Absolutely. Health bio is a very important part of our economy. And when I talk about the 5 ecosystems, I'm talking about the drivers of wealth for our economy. But that's not to say that there aren't many other systems that do provide wealth to the state. It's just maybe not the top 5. I also use the metaphor of like the Oklahoma City Thunder. You have a team of many players, however you have your starting 5. And so when we're playing for the NBA championship, you put your best 5 on the court, but that doesn't mean that you only have a team of 5. You still want to invest in your bench. You want to make sure you have great players, that they have everything they need. But when you're competing for a championship, you're going to put your front 5 out. The other thing that people need to realize is that we have complementary systems. So we have the driver systems, and then we have complementary systems such as infrastructure. So construction is a complementary system. We need houses, we need hospitals, we need schools, we need roads, we need the infrastructure that we have in society. Another complementary system is quality of life, which would include biohealth. We need the hospitals, we need the healthcare, because we need people to be healthy. We need that kind of those occupations such as nurses and doctors and lab techs. So they're very important to having that kind of support. Also, we need tourism and recreation. We need the arts, we need sports, we need things for people to do. So the people who are working, the labor for our ecosystems, they need quality of life. The third complementary system is actually around knowledge, skills, and abilities. And that would include education. So the universities, the K-12 schools that we have, the career tech campuses that we have that help provide labor to our businesses, but also our creative industries. We need people who are able to innovate. And that really goes into the entrepreneurs that we have in the state.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask the question that someone may be thinking that's watching this. That's all well and good that we have these ecosystems, but what do we do with them now?
Well, the idea of the ecosystems is actually to give us a number of things to help in terms of policy. It's just a framework to start a discussion. There are also a number of different levels of ecosystems. So for the state, there are 5, but there may be different ecosystems for a multi-county region or for a community. And so this is meant to start as a framework for discussion for policy leaders, elected officials, other kinds of campus superintendents, university presidents, to understand what are the drivers of their local economy, and then how do you prioritize your resources so that the needs that we have in the economy are met first. And this is particularly important when we have scarcity of resources.
Mm-hmm. As this develops, what do you see happening with the state?
Well, the hope is that we'll not only maintain our competitive edge, but we'll grow it. Over the past couple of years, Oklahoma has led in employment growth. We've had one of the lowest unemployment rates. Our manufacturing is booming at 5% growth. We've been in the top 3 in terms of growth percentage over the past 2 years. But we can't rest on our laurels. We know that other economies are going to be coming back from the recession. It's a global economy, so now we're not only competing against Texas or Arkansas, we're competing against Mexico or Malaysia. And so we have got to think about how we get ready for 2020 and 2030. And that's what this initiative is meant to do. It's meant to have everybody in Oklahoma on the same page, going in the same direction, because ultimately the outcome we want is Oklahoma's continued prosperity.
All right. Thank you so much. Deidre Myers with Oklahoma's Department of Commerce.